obviously with climate, we're staring down a big climate emergency. So what would you do to ensure that climate policy lasts beyond the current Biden administration? Congressman Torres, you can start.
That is the argument for a bipartisan agreement, because bipartisan compromises tend to have more staying power. But we have no choice but to accelerate the transition to a clean energy economy. I remember coming across a study indicating that if the climate warms catastrophically, we're in danger of sustaining $23 trillion in losses in economic growth, and that's simply an average. Some countries will face up to 40% in losses in their global wealth and their global GDP. So we have no choice. But this is not only about climate change. This is about creating jobs. I came across a study indicating that if we were to decarbonize electricity over the next 10 years, we could create on net, an average of 600,000 jobs a year. So it's not only good morals, it's good economics. And the beauty is the majority of those jobs would be accessible to those without a college education. So we're targeting the communities that historically have been left behind. The energy sector tends to be much more receptive to unionization. And unlike fossil fuel production, which is concentrated in a small set of states, the clean energy economy is going to be much more broadly dispersed. Every state has a role to play in the production and distribution of clean energy. So I think the best argument for durability is it's about jobs. It's about creating jobs for the next generation of jobs, so that we can be not only innovative and productive at home, but also more competitive with China abroad.
Ella, can I just jump in here on that? One of the ways that we make sure that we are building a truly sustainable long-term infrastructure is by listening to the experts. We listen to the scientists, we listen to the engineers. It's the same with medicine, by the way, and pandemics, but we listen to people who understand their own business. And by and large, I don't believe that most industries want to be bad actors or that they want to contribute to the demise of our planet. I think they want to do the right thing, but they often, as I mentioned before, need urging, sometimes from their shareholders, sometimes from their employees, and sometimes just from the general public, sometimes from the government. But they also need to know that the government wants to work with them and understand what are the best technologies for the future. Because chances are, we legislators, we might know about something that we just read about, but we could be 6 generations behind on whatever the technology is for carbon capture. And I'm just a big believer in involving industry in these discussions. And I'm not suggesting that they get to make all the decisions, but I think we have to recognize their expertise and incorporate it.
Yeah, and I'll just briefly add in on this is from our perspective, the union side sees this as is pointed out, like good legislation brings all parties together. And then it's the depth of jobs, making sure that these rural communities benefit from these investments, like thinking about wind generation and Senator Grassley's support of the production tax credit. Like he does this not just because it's good policy, but it benefits Iowa. And so how we integrate that and break through that urban-rural divide on clean energy is something that the union really wants to work on, because we have a lot of membership that work in urban areas, and we have members like that work at the Bobcat facility in North Dakota that are going to build the Bobcats that are going to help dig the earth to build out these clean energy investments. So, these are these opportunities if we can get the legislation right and make sure that it's understood in the constituents. Every state is going to benefit when we invest in this sort of new energy economy, and so that the wages and other benefits too need to come with it as well. And that's where having that right to bargain and that capability to ensure that the wages that we are creating and the jobs we are creating are good jobs with good benefits and pay, and something that people can be proud to allow their kids to go to college. And there's lots of ways to do this, but that's how the union sees it, and that's why we're really excited to see all of the proposals. The family plan yesterday, the jobs plan, and the president's statement again on PRO Act. I mean, these are important pieces that, when all weave together, will really propel us forward.
Exactly, and just to clean up a little bit, I think it's everything we talked about, plus, I mean, there are real opportunities to streamline permitting, to deploy clean energy. We're not going to start deconstructing offshore wind turbines. So I think there's a lot of momentum that we can push into the system through the existing regulatory processes. But I also think what's really exciting is some of the actual corporate and state commitments that are, those are more or less, those are in addition to what we're already doing, right? Like, that's going to help drive deployment of clean energy. That's going to, the fact that you've got somebody like GM saying we're going to get rid of the internal combustion engine, the fact that you have Apple and Google saying we want access to more zero carbon energy. There's, I think we need to start thinking about, we got to throw all the tools at the climate crisis. And so how do we think about the next round of corporate commitments? How do we think about upping engagement at the state level? And I think there's real room for opportunity there.